Okay, so a few weeks ago I saw something that fascinated me a lot, and it was a piece of art, in my opinion. It was epoxy live edge furniture, and it was really fascinating how it could transform into beautiful furniture, and every furniture would have an identity of its own and would look different. So I thought, why don't I give it a try? And to be honest, I've seen probably every YouTube tutorial there is, and let me tell you guys one thing: it's not easy. It is absolutely not easy. It's not easy as the videos make it look. The main problem with live edge epoxy is that it's a free-flowing product, and what the major problem that I faced was when I poured the epoxy on the top, it would flow out of the back, and since it's my first time, I had no clue how to fix that. So what I did was I turned the tables around and I filled them from the bottom. One thing to note is it's very important to use duct tape, because I think duct tape is the only thing that would hold the epoxy from flowing out. So this is the progress so far, and what I've done right now is I have taken some wood off the top, and now I need to fix all these holes. I made a few mistakes as well. You can see how the bubbles can show here, so I need to touch it up and finish the rest of the pieces as well. So this is well, here's an update on 3 hours of continuous sanding. I used the 80 grit sandpaper first. After that I switched to 180 and then 220. It seems quite good at the moment. I'm quite satisfied with the texture. I was a bit worried about not being able to get the finish that I needed on the epoxy. You can see the swirl marks on the center as well. I think it turned out quite good. The base that I'm using is I've made it out of iron shaft, and it's not, you can see it's not fixed as of yet, but next step is I'm going to use a wood sealer, and after that we'll see if I want to do anything further with it. Also, one more thing, I might put some epoxy on the sides as well. You can see the sides are quite raw at the moment. So here's an update. I poured epoxy on the table a good 15-20 minutes ago, and as you can see, these bubbles keep popping up because the wood is soaking up on the epoxy. So I'm using this heat gun every few minutes, and it pops up the bubbles, but it takes a good amount of time to let it settle. So I'm just sitting here, and let's see how it turns out. So far I think it looks good. 30 minutes in, and I've completely fucked up the project. you can see all the bubbles, and I'm trying to figure out what I did wrong, because these bubbles won't go away. I've tried the heat gun many times and they just keep popping up, and the epoxy is now almost dry. So I'm just gonna figure out what I did wrong. It's probably the wood that had the tendency to soak up a lot of epoxy, and for the next piece I might spray it with lacquer first to seal all the pores and all the holes, and then I'll try pouring the epoxy. This is how the new piece has turned out. I've coated it with epoxy. First I sealed it with a thin layer of epoxy, and then once it started to dry a bit, I poured some more, and as you can see, absolutely no air bubbles. It looks beautiful.